There are 7 major categories of music software deals. Let me lay them out for you. The first deal is the list price, which is the highest price. It's the deal that almost nobody ever takes. You only see it on the website of the company that brings out the software. The second deal is the street price. This is the price that most people pay. It's the price you see at most of the stores. I assume that the street price is actually set by the company that sells the software. The third deal is discount stores. Some stores figure out a way to sell the product for slightly less than the street price. It might be that they offer loyalty points, or they might have a special code, but somehow they're able to lower the price. The fourth deal is the sales deal, the Black Friday deal, the summer sales deal. You can get 40%, 50%, or even a lot more off during these deals. Now, if you want to know what the deal was last Black Friday, I do a post almost every year at the VI Control Forum. And I put a link to that below, and you can see what the price was, and you can decide if you're facing a sale right now, whether it's a good deal or not. It takes me hundreds of hours to create these posts, so if you click on the links, it's appreciated. Deal number 5 is the crazy deal. 80% off, 90% off. You see these kinds of deals every day on websites like Audio Plugin Deals and VST Buzz, as well as others. Now, that can often be an amazing opportunity to get something really, really good at a low price, and an opportunity that only comes along once. But in other cases, it's not as good a deal as it seems, because there are certain products that really only sell when they're 90% off, and nobody ever buys them at their full price. The sixth deal is free. There are sometimes pieces of software that are offered for free when they're first introduced. And then there are others that have been sold for years and then are suddenly offered for free for a period of time. And then there's a final group that have been sold for years and years and then suddenly are offered for free on a permanent basis. The seventh deal is your deal. It's whatever you can negotiate. For most of us, aside from a computer, our biggest expenses are a guitar, a microphone, a keyboard controller. And these kind of hardware things are not going to turn up 80, 90% off. And they have so much that they paid for it, and they have so much that they're selling it for. And the question we don't know is how much give is there in the middle. In most cases, you're buying from somebody who is working on commission. So if you're buying something for a lot of money, $1,000 say, then they're very motivated to have you not walk out the door. It might not be quite as motivating if you're looking for a really great deal on a $15 mic stand. Negotiation is always complicated, particularly when it involves money. Strange things creep into it, like people's sense of worth and whether they're being respected or not. For example, if you're asking your boss for a raise, or if you're negotiating with somebody to just lower your cable bill or whatever. It's always like the more you bring in the feelings of the person you're talking to, the more you respect that person, the better things are going to go. So my first rule is that I never begin with the idea of I'm going to get the lowest possible price. What I'm trying to get is a price that's going to be good for me and good for the person that's selling to me. And I don't want to squeeze that person. So I come in with the idea of, all right, this store has often sold things for 15% off. So I'll come in and I'll say, look, you're not having a sale like that right now, but I'm ready to buy. Will you give me this keyboard for 15% off? And that seems like a reasonable thing. I don't say, will you give me the keyboard for 20% off? I say 15% off. And then the person can say yes or no, but I know that within that, they're still going to get a decent commission and they're going to come out all right. And I see the opportunity to negotiate to be not just a point of just squeezing somebody, but as an opportunity where maybe you can begin a new relationship, where maybe you'll go back to that same person later on and negotiate. Now, could you use the same approach with software that you did with a guitar? Well, I don't see why not. You got nothing to lose by trying. You could approach one of these developers, and remember, a lot of them are just one person or two people. And you could say, you put your synth on sale for 50% off on Black Friday. I will buy it today for 50% off, or I'll just wait till Black Friday. I'm not really going to buy it for full price because I know that that price is coming. And the person who is on the other side, who's the developer, could be thinking, well, I'm thinking about discounting my synth even further. So this is a good deal. Or they also could think, well, when Black Friday comes, that person is going to be buying all kinds of stuff. Today they've got the money, then they might not. So there's room in here where this could be advantageous for both sides. And I think that's the best kind of negotiation, the best kind of deal making when it works out that way. And even more so, if you make a deal with a person who's probably the person who created the software, it's like you're beginning a friendship. It's like you have a personal relationship with that person and makes you want to buy more stuff. Now, would this idea work on a big company like Native Instruments? I don't think so, but if you want to, you could go for it. But I think with Native Instruments or a company of that size, you're just going to have to wait for their sales. One of the biggest problems with buying music software is that they generally do not allow returns, something you get when you buy almost anything. And ideally, it's best to be able to buy things when you can get a demo or when you are able to return or resell. And that's ideal. But 90% of the time, you don't get that option. And so when that happens, I generally just shrug my shoulders. That's the deal. I knew what I signed up for. But there are certain situations where my disappointment is pretty acute in that as soon as I load it up, I'm so disappointed that I know I will never use it. In extreme cases like that, and only that, I will sometimes write the developer and see if there's something we can work out, even though they've made it absolutely clear that they don't allow refunds or resales. And one thing that you could do is I could say, all right, if you give me a refund or a partial refund, I will take that money and I'll buy something else by you. And, so it might end up that they give you a $100 refund and you buy something that costs $150. So there's a little bit of give and take in there in that they're getting something. And when they give you something that is supposedly worth $100, I mean, it's not the same as them giving you $100 because when it sells in a store, they don't get the whole 100. And they also will do things from time to time where they will give software away, like they'll give it to a composer to write a demo, or they'll give it to a reviewer. So there are ways in there where there might be something that's possible to arrange. And at the end of it, instead of being really angry at this company, you can feel great about this company and you'll say nice things about what great customer service they have, and you'll be very, very excited to buy more things in the future from them. Some companies will give out a promo of one of their software products or an expansion to it, and they'll do it at a place like Plug-in Boutique, where you often will see that if every month, if you buy something there, you'll get something free. And you could buy something that costs a few dollars and get this thing free. And you might look and say, well, I already have that. I don't need it. And I don't need that expansion. I have all the expansions. But I would recommend that you get it anyway and just set it aside until later. And the reason I say that is that there might come a point when you could approach them and say, look, will you swap that for this thing that I don't have? If you think about it, they were willing to give you something free. They were willing to give you a product for free if by chance you didn't have it. So why wouldn't they give you a product in the very same series? And are they going to punish you just because you're a good customer who buys a lot of their stuff? Well, again, they could say no, but you have nothing to lose by asking, if you ask nicely and you're not a jerk about it. Thanks for watching. If you haven't seen my other video on how to save money buying music software, there's a link at the end and below. This is Tiger the Frog, reminding you that when you buy music software, always buy responsibly. Never drink and buy. You'll thank me.